and my name is Rashmi Someshwar. I think you'll know me by now a little bit. I hope so. I'm part of British Biological's Learning and Development team. So today we are going into something that is very interesting. We have started this 5-course program. We finished the first two. This is the third one. So in the first one, we talked about line, then we talked about texture. Today we're talking about patterns. So it's basically a chance to understand how styling goes about, what styling is ideal for your own body shape or your own skin hue. So that you'll find that certain outfits look really great on you, and you try to replicate them and get the same pattern or same styling, and then you find it in a different color or a different texture, and then it is not looking so great. So what I am trying to do is trying to get you to have a little bit of an understanding, just a little bit of an understanding on how this goes about. Okay, so when I talk about line and texture, which we did earlier, we talked a little bit about what lines suit what body shape, uh, how to um, get the ideal body shape with regards to the lines that are available in our design. Then we talked about texture being, how the material itself that you choose changes the way you look. Sometimes you wear a very crisp, sharp, crisp cotton shirt, especially for the gentlemen, and they look very smart and sharp, especially if they are on the thinner side. If they're on the broader side, they look rolled, right? They look a little rounder. So then what would you do? Then when we're talking about lines, we said use vertical lines. They give you visual length and visual narrowness. So then for a slightly rounder body shape, not so sleek body shape, go with lines. When you put lines in your already white shirt, you have self-colored lines, pinstripe or chalk stripe or something like that, you get that visual effect. That's the same thing that'll go to a very thin and narrow person. A thin and narrow person will like to have broader stripes. So like, they, for men, it'll look visually broader. For women, of course, we want everything to be slim and thin. So no matter what shape we are, we want to come smaller and smaller. Ultimately, I think disappear, but not really. So those are the things that we talked about. Today we're talking about pattern. Okay, how certain patterns will change the way certain things look on you. So yes, we get a lot of ready-made clothes and things like that, but if you alter a little bit here and there, a tuck here, a little bit of tightening there, your clothes will look much better on you. You will feel much better when you look in the mirror, when you get up and get ready and look in the mirror and say, yes, I looked good today, I can conquer the day. So that is our goal, to have every day for you to conquer. All right, so today we're going to talk about patterns. So let us just go into that. Give me a second. I'm getting tech savvy suddenly. And there we are. Okay, we're going to be talking about the third session in this styling essentials, and that is called patterns, right? So we already talked about line and texture. I give you a little brief about it. Today's pattern, the next time we talk about is color, which is going to be my favorite subject. So I probably will take forever to finish it. But yes, next will be color, and then shape. Okay. So styling patterns, especially in fashion or design, often follow trends and principles that evolve over time. Here are some common patterns that are and approaches. Now what happens is trends change, so styling changes and everything like that, so the patterns also change. But there are some classic patterns, there are some classic lines or some classic way of dressing that never changes, that looks great any time of the year, any time of the day, and any time of the century as well. So let us go into that and have a little bit of a look on that one, right? The most popular fabric patterns that we have. Okay, when I'm talking about fabric now, I will not talk about just clothes. It can be drapes, bed sheets, it can be hanging on the wall, it can be anything that you like. It depends on what you want to do with it. If you are into events, then this is a great session for you, because these are the things that we use to create more dynamic outlook, whether for any room, any table, any dress pattern, anything like that, or shirts as well. Okay, so these include stripes, polka dots. I have tried to give names to each pattern here, so it becomes easy for you all to you know, tag along with me in this one. So houndstooth and geometrical shapes, they convey a sense of structure, order, and playfulness depending on the arrangement and scale. Okay, so broken stripes also, it's a very simple thing. So where there is a light, they'll become dark, and where there's a dark, they'll become light, and suddenly you've got a different pattern there. Suddenly it is very fashionable and very savvy. So ombre also, the shading, you know, light to dark, dark to light, depending on what shades you're using. So all those kind of things, it just changes the entire look. Now you have a very plain and simple white outfit that you're wearing. Say you're wearing white shirt and very beige light color trouser, or you're wearing a white dress. Just throw a little bit of a flame stitch on it, or just throw a little bit of an animal print as a scarf, or even a strap of a bag, or even a belt. Suddenly it looks very, very different. It looks very dynamic. So that is what we are going to discuss today, right? So we have floral prints. Oh my God, these are so delicate and so beautifully done. And these are the very, very classic patterns that we have, right? Now this can go into a dress, it can go into sheet, it can go into curtains, it can go as a runner on table, it can go into cushion covers, it can go into so many various things. And of course, it can go into beautiful Sunday dresses, casual Sunday shirt, you know, something that you would feel very comfortable and relaxed with. Also, if you look at this one, I'm going to try and get a laser thing going. Yeah, I'm going to do a laser pointer with, hmm, I've got color choices here. All right. So if I'm talking about this one here, right here, this one, okay, this one right here can be a very, very classic, you know, formal wear when you're going for weddings and things like that. It can be jackets, it can be in your skirt, it can be in any kind of patterns like that. This is a very, very classic pattern, and it is a very beautifully designed pattern. So it looks busy as well as it looks structured. So it brings out that kind of royalty in anything that you wear. So very good for weddings and very formal occasions that way. Even if you're going for a like, you know, a formal black tie, and you wear a nice tie that has that kind of pattern, picks up the outfit completely. If you're wearing a blouse like that and a very plain simple sari, picks it up completely. So the patterns become very important at how we choose them, right? Now let's talk about abstract patterns. Abstract patterns are in their own flow. There is no structure to it. So the pattern can be anything that you think is a pattern. Now I would say maybe this looks like sea with fishes, you know, baby fishes going around. Somebody else will say it looks like the sky and monsoons. So it can be anything. So abstract patterns are the most fun. You can make them anything that you want, okay? They're non-representable shapes and forms, sometimes creating a sense of movement or complexity. Abstract patterns can be highly artistic and interpretive. Now, if you are, you know, like me, slightly on the broader side, then I'll put an abstract pattern going right across my body from one side to another, or draping an abstract stole or a dupatta across my dress. Automatically it gives a sense of movement, it gives a sense of creativity right there and then, and picks it up. So there are different styles of abstract patterns, as you can see here. It can be very subtle, it can be very just with two colors or three colors also, or it can have a multitude of colors and just adds life into anything. So if even if you have a vase with an abstract pattern, and you keep you know, mother's breath, you know, flowers on them, just very light grass stalks or something like that, it just changes the entire look of the room. So these kind of things you can play about with, and just love to do that, just love to bring out these different things that go into it. All right. So abstract patterns can be highly artistic and interpretive to your individual self. For me, it looks something different. For you, it'll be completely something different. So it is a conversation piece, I would say. An abstract pattern in anything, it becomes a conversation piece, right? So let's go into the other one. Now this is favorite. Boys, girls, men, ladies, whoever. Animal print is animal print. It is amazing. The leopard print, the zebra print, the tiger print, you snake print, alligator print, any of them. They just bring out, a sense of luxury, so it is just these prints include, all these different styles. Now we can zigzag, as we can see here, we can zigzag the zebra print a little bit. Even the tiger print here and here is completely different. So it depends on what angle of the body you are going to take your print from. So as you can see, this is a snake print, and you can go into a snake print in another way right here as well. So it all depends on different things. Okay, now it can be an outfit, but the only thing I would talk about the animal print is we can overdo it. Okay, if your whole outfit is a jumpsuit and an animal print, it can be a little overdone. So you have to aspire to make sure that you have a right blend in them. You kind of structure them in such a way that they don't overtake the room, or they don't overtake your dressing style, or they don't overtake something, because animal print is very bold and strong, and the animal print that we use also is bold and strong, so automatically they will overtake whatever you're trying to do. So if you are trying to be a more subtle self, then this is not the day to wear animal print. Animal print is when you want to take charge and kind of so-called declare the room, right? All right, now tribal patterns. Oh, we have enough in India, but I have given you some patterns that are not Indian as well over here, just for reference, okay? Often categorized by the bold colors and repetitive motifs, these patterns draw inspiration from traditional art forms and cultural heritage around the world. Now, um, this black and white one, which is one of the favorites all around the world, it's an African print, okay, and this is Mizorami print right on top of there. Okay, so though they have similar structures, yet they're completely different. This one, the blue and white, is the most favorite one in India, which is a Jaipuri print. Okay, they stick with the blue and white colors mostly. They do put them in other colors also, but the blue and white just looks most classic. Okay, and this one with mirror work and shells and embroidery and all those things is a Gujarati style. Okay, now this Gujarati style also is very festive. It's beautifully colored. It's very festive, and you can put it as much as you want or as little as you want, depending on the occasion that you're going in for. Okay, it looks completely unique. The mirror work looks completely dazzling, so you can have it in all different forms and structures. Now this print over here is a Shinulese print. Okay, so the motifs there take the kind of structure, and it can be embroidered, it can be in a print also. So these are the different things you can go with tribal ethnic prints, because they come from a certain culture, they come from a certain way of life that has been there for centuries. It kind of adds a very classic look to it. It's also very regal if you print it well, like the Jaipuri print looks very royal because it comes from the royal family. So all these kind of things can bring out a different aspect of what you want to do that day. Now this can be again a complete outfit. It can also be taken just as a stole, or the pattern of your bag, or a scarf, a blouse, something little, or completely the whole outfit. It's entirely your choice. All right, actually I had this African print. I have a top that I wore recently in one of the functions, and looked really nice because I paired it with a pair of black slacks. So it was looking very, though it was very bold, it was still looking very subtle. So you can do things like that with it. You can just alternate it a little bit for it to give it the look, but also pull it down a little bit more. So these kind of things can be done, right? Now we are going into the textured patterns. Textured pattern means a pattern within the texture, a pattern that is inlaid within this texture. It's not stitched on, it is inlaid within this texture. So this blue one here is mostly what we use in sofa covers or car seats or our chairs or blanket spreads, the razai, the thick ones that we are now going to be needing as we're going into winter. So those kind of patterns are here. Now this is also something that you would use as a cushion cover or a sofa spread or something like that. So the colors can bring out what you want to display in the room. Now, it doesn't mean that it is not there in clothes. Our saris in India, they have stitching on top or to give them depth, or they have a print on top. This is a stitching that has been done. I think it is a South Indian style of sari, and it kind of brings out more, depth and interest in that particular material, and how it is draped then makes it completely different. So then we have like this, embossed into the material. Okay, it's embossed into the material, so it's lifted up from the material. It gives a 3D effect. Again, very, very beautiful. Again, something for the house, some a table runner or something like that, just to add a little bit of extra into your otherwise sober room. Now they do come in shirts also. Embossing is very delicate. It's not as strong as the one down here, the white and brown one. The shirt is very, very delicately embossed. So it gives a sense of life of its own. It is a party wear shirt. It is something that makes you stand out. It also is very, very recommended for extremely slim people. So it makes them look a little bit more broader, and it gives them visual breadth, right? So automatically it is a stronger shirt for someone who's extremely slim or is slim and wants to look a little bit more towards the ideal shape for men, which is an inverted triangle. All right, now we have a lady here. Okay, she is a rectangle. If you understand, we did body shape sometime back. So she wants to look more like an hourglass, which is an ideal body shape for women. So what does she do? She uses textured cloth and she gives a belt in. Okay, now the cloth gives her a visual width which she needs for certain areas. So she uses the textured cloth over there, and with the same belt, monochromatically same material, same belt, she puts a belt across her waist. So automatically everything just comes together, and that's what these quilted materials actually do, or these embossed materials actually do. You can change what you are. A very plain outfit can make be looking very grand in this kind of fashion as well, right? Now we're going to talk about patchwork and mosaics. I love mosaics. They are something that has come down to us from Portugal. If you see, this will remind you of Goa. Okay, this one here, the blue and yellow one, would remind you of Goa, because that's where the Portugal patterns came into India from. Okay, so they're very relaxing, cool. They also give a very distinct style and elegance that goes with it. So yes, they can be tiles, but I like to use them in skirt patterns and things like that. They look absolutely gorgeous in an A-line skirt. Okay, because it's got structure, it doesn't make the skirt look very broad. It actually gives a very good silhouette to the person who's wearing it. This is great for your casual shirts and things like that as well. All right, so now we have different patterns. We have this marble finish. This is actually cloth. All right, it's a marble finish, but it's actually just cloth. All right, so you can use it for, you're wearing a white shirt, you can just have it as a pocket. It doesn't have to have a whole lot of material to it. You can just add little bit, or you can just use it as a collar cuff and your sleeve cuff. Amazing look when you wear a simple light blue shirt, or you wear a simple gray shirt and have this kind of cuff. Oh my god, it just takes it out to the next level entirely. It just looks so grand. All right, it can be casual also, a smart casual also. It can be your Friday dressing for office as well. So all these kind of things. Now we have patchwork. I love this idea of patchwork because it is a collage of everything that is dear and near to you. So these are different dresses put together and made a collage of a quilt. Now what happens with this is it gives you memories. Every time you look at it, some cloth will give you some memory of something. So this is what is done in our heritage India, and it is still being done in some parts of the world. So if you want, you can give all your old materials, and have a quilt made out of it, especially for these young girls and young boys leaving their home for the first time, going to their hostel, and they have all these memories to carry with them in a quilted a collage like that, something that they can always carry with them. It gives them a feel of home, gives them a feel of warmth. And yes, we did this for my niece when she was leaving for her higher education, and she just loved it, and she's very happy with it. So there's a little lace, embroidery of a dress. Then this was one of her first bed sheets that she used as a kid. Now there are things like that all over the place that her mother made a beautiful collage for her, a razai as we call it, or a thick blanket that keeps her warm, and of course reminds her of home, so she's not so homesick. So these are the things that patchwork can do. It just changes the look entirely. Again, then we can have something like this. So we have one strong color, and then we use abstract print underneath it. So there's one strong color and abstract print. So we make these squares and then we stitch them all together. This is also a very good warm cloth. A lot of people use it as a drape on the wall rather than a drape on the floor or a drape over a bed. They put it on the wall because it just brings color into the room. It just brings that spark into the room. Sometimes entire one side of the wall is this quilted sheet, you know, pinned into the wall, or uh, framed into the wall. It just looks very, very grand. Easy to clean, easy to maintain, and yet the color just lasts forever. And you can go with anything. You can go with any colors of your choice. These can get made personally, or you can just pick them up from the market as well. All right. So these patterns involve piecing together different fabrics and materials to create a collage like effect. They can be rustic or handmade, modern or abstract. So it all depends on what you feel like or what you want to portray. All right. Now, coming to the minimalistic patterns. Okay, this is what we actually like to do in office wear and things like that. Like what I'm wearing today is a very minimalistic pattern, though it's got lines, and it's got chalk and pinstripe lines. Plus, it has an embroidery over here. Still, I've chosen the colors to be very subtle and delicate. Okay, so I'm wearing a very minimalistic shirt today. So that is something that we like to do in our office. We like a little bit of a little bit of something, but we like to keep it very sober and quiet as well. Minimalistic patterns can be dots or triangles, small little dots or triangles all over the place, small little flowers or patterns like that. Sober. Okay, we'll use very muted colors. I would call these actually um, winter colors. More than winter, I think these will be more autumn colors. Okay, so autumn colors, we'll go into autumn colors and then bring them very dull and very relaxed. Okay, even if we want to do something busy like this gray pattern here, we want to do it very busy, we'll keep it again smaller in shape and size, as well as the colors will be almost similar to each other, so automatically it gives a very subtle look. Imagine this gray thing, gray pattern that we have here in a bright red or a yellow or a green. It changes the look entirely, suddenly makes it very fashionable or party wear and things like that. But we have decided to keep it sober for our office. So then we can do it this way and then wear a very sober white tie or a gray tie in solids with self embossed in it, and it just brings out beautiful patterns right there. Okay, now this kind of abstract pattern, the light blue one there, it is sage, not really a sage but more of a wedgwood blue that goes lighter and lighter and then ultimately becomes white. So these kind of things you can just bring it about in your styling. Now ideally I would say is the lighter color will be where you want attention least, and the darker color will be where you want more attention. Now if you have you want a slimming waist, you'll put the darker color towards your waist and lighter color above. So those kind of things, you can play with these ombre patterns to kind of bring out more of your visual effect of your body. Okay, the minimalist patterns focus on simplicity, using subtle textures, monochromatic palettes to create an understated elegance. So these kind of things are something that we would like to have in our office wardrobe for sure, right? Let's go to the last one. All right, the last one we are talking about checks and stripes because they're very there everywhere we go. We definitely have these patterns. We as Indians, we just love our checks. We just love our checks, but we have different styles of checks. Okay, it's called the my tongue is getting stuck. Plaid sheet. Okay, we have the Glen plaid, we have the Tratan plaid, window plain plaid, check plaid. We have the houndstooth plaid and gingham plaid. We have the tatterball plaid and the Madras, of course, our beautiful Madras plaid. Now, what is Madras plaid is 3-4 colors minimum into one shirt in a checks kind of formation, which is something here. So these are all these different colors that come together and somehow form a very beautiful looking shirt. Or it is also very interesting, this shirt, if you wear a slightly broader for the slimmer people and slightly narrower for the broader people, brings out a different look altogether. Like the gingham plaid is actually very flattering for someone who's just a little bit on the rounder side, right? Put on a little bit of weight, or like me, right? So the gingham plaid gives you that, and of course, a beautiful Burberry checks is there is a line between the checks which kind of gives a very a look of movement, a look of someone who's clicking, someone who's ready to make a move and move forward. So that's what the Burberry plaid does. Now, when we're talking about stripes, we have the horizontal stripes that make you look broader, then we have the vertical stripes that make you look narrower, and in between, we have stripes that we use in different ways to create interesting patterns in our dresses as well. So we have the Owen stripes, which are nice and thick, widest stripes. Then we have the Bengal stripes, which is a little bit thicker. So they have thin and broad stripes. So that is like a, almost like a chalk stripe. Okay. Then we have the pencil stripe. The stripes are equally between the dark and the light. There will be equal spaces, and that will be our pencil stripe. Okay, and a pinstripes are actually very broad darker colors with very thin pin with lines going through them. Okay, this is great for suits, it's great for formal wear, it's great for a formal skirt, formal dress. Pinstripe is, you can just go blindly and pick it up for anything that you want on a formal official looking thing. Okay, so it is literally adds visual height, it makes you look taller, it adds visual makes you look slimmer, it gives you a slimming effect, especially if you're wearing it on a jacket. If you're wearing it on in a suit dress or a suit skirt, then have a very plain colored scarf or stole or a jacket to go with it. It just brings out the pinstripes even more. It's one of my favorite styles to wear, actually, right? So yes, it is a lot of information that I have given you in half an hour, but I just felt these are the things that we should be talking about. So when styling with patterns, it is important to consider scale and contrast. Okay, so you be careful that you don't overdo it. You consider how much you want it, in what area do you want it, and the contrast. Patterns can create a dynamic look, but it is essential to ensure they complement each other harmoniously. Sometimes we find someone wearing a flowery shirt and or a flowery top, and then having checks pants or plaid pants and things like that. So it kind of clashes with each other. It's not very harmonious. So we should do things a little bit more harmoniously for it to actually give the effect that we want. Patterns can evoke emotions, set a tone, statement, like we talked about doing it inside a house, on the runner, as a tabletop, or on your cushions or your chairs. They just make it more look more of a statement piece or a talking piece, making them powerful tools in styling oneself and your room, or your whatever you want to show that day. Now if you're coming from events, then what do you in your event, what do you want that day, what do you want to accomplish that day? The patterns will help you to do that. They will set the right space, the right mood for it. Very essential part of styling. Okay, I hope you'll have some questions that I can answer now. I have short a little bit more than my time, and I'm sorry about that. Let me see if there are any questions. Sorry about that. Let me see if there are any questions. Sorry about that. Let me see if there are any. All right, we have a lot of people here today, and I'm happy to see you all. We have Asif, Ajit, Chandan, Mudassar, Ravikant, Abhishek, Rizwan, Biswajit. Good morning, everyone. Um, I have someone called Barik, and happy to see you here. Abhijit, Amit, Prakash, and Amit Raj is also there. Baswa is here. Then we have Devasadev. I'm sorry, I think I pronounced that wrongly, and I'm very, very sorry about that. All right. Santosh, Ranjit, Irfan, Nirbhay, uh, Amar Story Hub. Okay. So I think there is a interesting story there. So Amar, if you'd like to share with us, that'll be great. We have Lakshmikant, Anand Raj, Chandan Shekhar, and more people there. Manjunath is also there. Pradeep is there. Gaurav Pawar is there. I hope, is there anyone has any questions for me? Any more any questions that we would like to discuss? Naushad, good morning. Aurangzeb is here. Vipin, Zahir, official hacker. Oh, I hope you don't get into the bad books of my team here. They're very, very strong. They'll get to you. Okay. Dipali is here. Then Maddie, I like that name. Ranjit, Abhishek. Okay. Mustaq is here. Sonu, Vishwas, Maya, Suresh, Baswa, Ganta, and Dhananjay. Chetan is also here. Subhash, Gautam, Chaitanya, Madhu, Madhu, Mita. Sorry, Madhumita Das is here. Prajwal, Mr. Shetty, thank you for joining us. And we have Ashwini Singh, Ganesh, Raja Reddy, Neeraj, Neeraj Ray. Good morning, Kaif. Kashif is here. Good morning, sir. Nice to see you here. And we have Iqbal, Anil Shekhar, Bharat, and Dhyaneshwar, Shakib, Kamlesh. Thank you everyone for joining. It was really nice to be able to talk to you about my favorite subject. And we have Ram here as well. So I see there are no questions coming my way. I wish there were some questions because I love having interactions with all of y'all, but maybe next time, right? And I'll see you around. I'll see you in a couple of weeks here, but before that, I may see you around in some meetings or things like that. It's really nice talking to all of y'all, and thank you for being patiently listening to me. I really enjoyed my subject today. Thank you. Have a very nice weekend, and I'll see you all soon. Take care, everybody.